up guys, and welcome back to the channel. Today we are working on the Evo, and I have some bad news and I have some good news. Alright, let's just start with the bad news to get it over with. I have not been able to source an Evo 8 diff to throw into this car to get rid of our AYC issues that we've been having and that awful noise in the rear that's now affecting like the handling of the whole car. Like it's vibrating so bad that the front shakes every now and then when it's faulting. So that kind of sucks. I really wanted to have a new diff swapped into the rear of this car before today, but it is what it is. Now let's get to the good news. Okay, so the good news is that today we are upgrading the turbo setup on the Evo. Adam has already upgraded his actually like right now, and we are both getting direct bolt-on upgrades by GCG Turbos. They custom made the exhaust side of the turbo so that it is a direct bolt-on for your stock manifold and you don't have to redo the downpipe or anything like that, which means you can get to the fun faster. So that is what we were doing today. Now I currently have an Evo 9, a stock Evo 9 turbo swapped onto this car that I have absolutely loved. Like this thing rips. It's almost 400 horsepower on E85 horsepower to torque. It is an absolute monster, just pulls everywhere. Like it's actually almost hard to drive because it's just freaking torque, like sending you. It's so raw. And that's one of the things that I love the most about the Evo platform, about this car specifically, is that insane response did pull everywhere. Now I want to upgrade the turbo and increase power a bit, but I don't want to lose that responsiveness. So GCG Turbos took a Garrett G25 550 and customized that so that that can be a direct bolt-on to my current stock manifold setup. So that is what I'm going to be putting on the car today. Now Adam actually already put his turbo on his car. He has a slightly bigger turbo than the one that I'm putting on my car because he's trying to make a lot more power than he's currently at, and he's currently at like 500. I don't want to lose that response, and I think it would be really cool for us to compare setups once we're all said and done. We will have to do some cutting and some light fabrication. I'm going to start on the install now. We might have to remake some lines. My car is slightly different than Adam's, so we're just gonna see what we have to do when we get into it. I'm really stoked to get a Garrett turbo onto this car, and shout out to GCG Turbos for making us this custom setup to make install so much easier. Jamie is actually flying in tomorrow to tune both of our cars, which is why I need to get this turbo set up on the car today so that I'm ready for dyno tomorrow. Today I'm going to be working in Adam's shop. He's already got his Evo on the lift because we might have to be doing some cutting up and some minor fabrication like I mentioned. It'll be a lot easier to do that here. Marco's actually going to come over and help me out later too. What size turbo do you have on your car? G25 Wow. You just wanted a turbo that was bigger than mine. That's all. That's all. Started to drain the radiator, and yes, we still got a lot of rust in our system. It smells really bad. 10 out of 10, don't recommend. It's not great. A few videos ago, you guys would have seen me trying to flush out the radiator. That's so gross.
Got some Nesquik in the radiator. There we go. There we go.
Oh, let it out, girl. You got it. Just let it all out.
Yeah.
So, and it was just rust sludge. Mostly because this car was started for the first time after sitting for years, and the block wasn't flushed ahead of time. It's an iron block. Rust is very common, and there was just so much buildup that I think this radiator might be too far gone. Like it was really, really bad, and we were flushing it forever, and it got better, but it was still not the best. So I just wanted to get a brand new one in the car. I'm gonna get the radiator out first, give us better access to everything, and then start working on getting our stock Evo 9 Turbski out of there and replace it with our GCG modified turbo. Look how beautiful she is. This is it. Nice and shiny. Look at her. So again, this is a Garrett G25 550 modified by GCG turbos so that it will bolt right up to stock manifold, meaning less downtime with fabrication, and everything is just a lot easier keeping a stock setup for the most part, but obviously getting a much better aftermarket Garrett turbo. I'm really excited to test out the power difference and the response difference, and we will be on the dyno, like I said, tomorrow. So we got to get this baby in there. There should be very little fabrication needed. The main thing that was needed, let me see if I can show you on Adam's car, where the intercooler connects. So we need to make like an extension from the turbo to get to this intercooler right here. Adam has his old turbo off, so I can kind of show you better. So this is Adam's old FP Green turbo that he had on the car, and the only thing that's gonna need fabrication that we're gonna have Marco come over and help out with is the extension off the turbo to the intercooler. So you'll see the difference right here. Basically, we're going to be welding on a mimic extension similar to this one so that it can reach the intercooler, and you can see what Marco did previously in Adam's car. So there's his new Garrett 25660 turbo right up there, and then this is that extension that Marco had to weld. So yeah, that's the only piece that's gonna take a bit of work. Other than that, it should bolt up. I might need to make some new lines, and I do think to make room, I might have to cut the fan shroud. I know Adam did, but his radiator is a bit thicker, so I might be lucky and have more clearance and not have to do as much cutting.
This is lit.
First things first, we gotta get our old turbo out of there. Some good news and I have some bad news. Good news is we got our stock Evo 9 turbo out of the car, and here is the comparison with that one compared to our new G25 550. The Garrett one is actually a bit smaller. I don't know if you guys remember, but I had a brand new O2 housing from MA Performance that I really wanted to put on the car instead of this old rusty one. However, I'm gonna need to remate the flange that is currently on my car for the downpipe in order to make it work. That is why I still have this old rusty one on that I'll have to transfer over to here. Here's what they look like side by side, orientated the same way. Here's our Evo 9 and our new Garrett Turbo there. So this is the piece that Marco is gonna have to fabricate for this guy. He's just gonna attach it right onto here. So that is what Marco is gonna work on. This just has the stock wastegate. This is completely stock setup. Then over here, I have a brand new Turbo Smart wastegate. I am not sure what spring is in it, so I need to find that out, but everything new on this side. Bad news is that I dropped a very important bolt that goes to the pan into here. I was struggling to get one of the last bolts out. It's hard to see, but it was right here, and I was like taking me forever with a wrench. So I started using my hand. There was a little bit of tension on it, and it kind of dropped out of my hand when I got the bolt. Landed in the worst place that could have landed. Yeah, gonna have to go diving in there, so I'm gonna take my ring off and hopefully I can find it. Okay, I'm just gonna pretend that this is like a spa day and I'm dipping my hands into like warm spa honey. I don't know, what do they do at spas? Like warm lotion? I don't know. I'm just gonna pretend that this is not what it actually is. What sucks is that there's also paper towels in here that I did not put in. This is so gross, you guys. Okay, are we ready? Oh God, it's so deep. This sucks. This sucks so bad. Oh my God, okay. Oh, yes! Oh my gosh, screw you. Bolt, this is it. Oh, yep, okay, well, I'm gonna figure out how to clean myself up and I'll be right back. Marco is all done welding and this is the final result. It looks kind of funny, but that's what needed to be done. This is gonna go straight to our intercooler, and Sean has been working on transferring all the lines over, and you only had to make a custom oil feed line, right?
Yep.
And then the stock water lines both transferred over, which I didn't think that we'd be able to use, but they're both over here. So now we need to get our O2 housing on, which I'm really sad that I can't use like this nice shiny one that I have. It's brand new by MA Performance, but it doesn't connect to my downpipe. So I'm gonna have to reuse this stock one, which should be fine. It's just really rusty. Oil is almost changed. Just have to add oil in and get our new turbo in, and then hopefully everything else fits back in with the new setup. Adam is finished with his car. It took them a little bit longer because he ended up having to replace the throttle body. The one on this car was leaking a bit, and his car is pretty much good to go. And I didn't realize that we were loading the cars tonight for the dyno. So we're gonna finish mine as fast as we can, get the cars loaded, and then head to the dyno.
You held me back when I tried to move on from your life, so you stole my life with clarity. So hold me back, now you're here, 'cause I'm mad, show no fear. Wanna let you know just how it felt. Oh no, 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 no. Don't you think we could? There's a way we could be. No, oh no, 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 no. I know the way you look at me.
There we go.
Boom.
Now I'm bulletproof, you're my fire gun, but I'm flying high.
So it's really dark and creepy outside, and there's like a million things that can attack you and kill you here at the compound. So I'm not going to flush the engines. I would have to do that outside, running water through it for a long time. So because of that, I'm not gonna put in my brand new Mishimoto radiator. I'm just gonna put in the one that was already in the car that already has a lot of rust like trapped inside of it because of the iron block. And then next time when I'm back here after dyno, when I have time to flush the motor, then I'll put my new one on. For now, this will be fine. This is what the car has been running on.
Anywhere you want it, this is me. Anywhere you want it, this is me. Tell me where you wanna go. About you. Tell me where you want it.
Just crank it for a bit. The cost is up. Alright. I'm gonna plug the cast in. Let's just get oil in your turbo. Alright, you're good to start it.
I think we're good. Insta boost?
Ready for Insta Boost?
Insta boost.
That's wild. Oh, that's not for the block. Really positive perspective.
There's all of our lovely rust. Love that for me. Love that. Yeah.
Your car's done. Her car is like instantaneous spool. It's kind of ridiculous and I'm very jealous, but I didn't want...
That's why I stuck with that one though. That's why I got the little baby turbo, because I liked the Evo 9 responsiveness. But I think it's gonna be fun to compare our cars too.
Yeah, I just didn't want to take a step back because
Yeah.
I'm trying to break that firm record. And ready for it to sound like a jet's about to take off? Collete setup's ridiculous. It's literally instantaneous spooling. Watch this. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
It feels like it's building positive boost pressure at like 500 RPM. Wild.
Okay, we are officially done. Shout out Sean, shout out Marco, shout out Adam for all the help. We got it done, and we are going straight to the dyno tomorrow. My turbo is so freaking responsive, it's like insta boost, but I will admit, I feel like Adam's maybe sounds a little better right now anyway. Man, this is like instant satisfaction too. We go straight from the install right to the dyno, and we are officially gonna have the battle of the Evos, featuring Garrett G25 660 versus Garrett G25 550. That is it for this video, and I will see you guys in the next one.